One fighter subclass that continuously gets better and better as 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons matures and expands is an Eldritch Knight. My take on it, which I call Eldritch Shadow, is ripe for an update, but before I delve into the shadows and rabbit holes of the all-new 5th edition book releases, I'm proud to announce a new sponsor for this channel. Myself, or rather my D&D crew. Hi! We've started a new D&D channel where we upload our weekly D&D sessions. Full episodes, highlights, clips and shorts, all available on a daily upload schedule. Channel link is down in the description below. Subscribe and bang that bell to keep up with our exploits and our adventures. Second episode and highlights will be up on that channel very soon, and in my opinion it's the best session we've had so far. Check it out, I think you'll laugh just like we did. The biggest flaw of this character has really been the lack of dark vision. Despite a fighter's plentiful ability score increases, Variant Human was the better overall choice than any other race, because this build was and remains loaded with feats. Half Elf is close, especially because you could stack Elven accuracy on top of everything else, but the levels needed for all of those feats are too high to justify in my mind. Tasha's Cauldron of Everything introduced the so-called custom lineage race, which is really a blank slate for a uniquely flavored character of your own, which you can roleplay in whatever way you find most fun for you and the rest of the table. The mechanics are still there, you get an extra feat at level 1, but now you finally have dark vision on top of it. Point buy is slightly wonkier than before, with 4 odd scores in Strength, Constitution, Intelligence and Wisdom. Your maximum hit points will be slightly lower for a while, but I personally don't find it to be a big problem. If you swap the old medium armor mastery feat, which was optional anyway, for Tasha's Fate Touched, you get increased mobility sooner and 1 extra spell known. I suggest either Gift of Alacrity for more consistent initiative rolls, or Silvery Barbs if your party doesn't have a Wizard, Bard or Sorcerer. To even out the Constitution score, Aberrant Dragonmark would be my first pick for even more spells and casts, but if the DM doesn't allow weird aberrant feat magic, Tasha's Skill Expert makes sense to me as well. I will refrain from recommending particular skill choices, as I believe these need to be adjusted and tailored towards your campaign, your DM's style and the rest of your party's needs. Shadowblade remains a core damage output spell of this build, but a couple of new spells from Wizards' more recent 5th edition D&D books really make sense for this character. The extra level 1 and 2 spells you get from Fate Touched and Aberrant Dragonmark feats make it easier to keep Featherfall and Mirror Image, 2 solid spells that you sort of had to swap for higher level spells before. A solid and fun new alternative to Mirror Image might be Strixhaven's Kinetic Joan. I also removed Warding Wind, which always competed with Shadowblade for concentration anyway. Instead, I think Rhyme's Binding Ice makes more sense, as it expands your AoE damage options and provides a nice control effect if needed. Level 3 spells throw a bit of a wrench in the mix, with Intellect Fortress standing above the rest. It does again compete with Shadowblade for concentration, but damn is it good to roll intelligence saves with advantage against Mind Flayers. Alternatively, you could experiment with Summon Shadow Spawn if you like the shadowy theme, but due to aforementioned concentration issues and the ever-present limited quantity of spell slots, I still think Blink or Fly, or just good old Fireball or Lightning Bolt hold ground. For level 4 spells, I could see myself swapping Banishment for Rolothim's Psychic Lance, which I probably pronounced incorrectly, because both control the enemy well enough, just in a different way. It's rather a side grade than an upgrade really, you definitely can't go wrong with either of these 2 spells. As with spells, a lot of new magical items have been made official as well since I made the first series of videos about this character. All the old suggestions are still valid, viable and strong, however, more variety and options is always good to have, so here are my suggestions for you few lucky ones who have generous dungeon masters. I like all the Tasha tattoos, with Blood Fury tattoo an obvious winner of the bunch. Ascendant or even Wakened Dragon's Wrath Rapier is a very solid improvement over your Shadowblade spell, if nothing but for the increased accuracy while maintaining very respectable, even superior damage potential. I've had a chance to see Teeth of Dalvernar in action recently. It's a really ridiculous item, but it's both very fun and powerful, so no reason not to go for it if the DM permits. Jewel of 3 Prayers of any state is such a good item to have not just on this character, but basically all of them, so I have to include it in this shortlist as well. Of course, there are many more that would be worth your consideration, but these few stuck out to me personally, and I'm sure they'll work for you just as well. Due to new feats and spells, I modified the progression here and there to better fit this character. You can swap around the feats however you see fit, but I think this is a good sequence of mechanics that just build on top of each other as you gain higher and higher levels. Everything I talked about in this video is available in a wall of text format on my Patreon page, so if you prefer it that way instead of listening to my thick Slavic accent, Magical Secrets tier is for you. You also gain access to my Patreon Discord server where you can ask questions or endlessly discuss 5th edition mechanics with like-minded individuals. This is all completely optional, of course, everything is freely available in this video, but if you find the Patreon perks worth the trouble, worth your time and worth your money, consider supporting my efforts over there. Once again, please check out my second channel, linked in the description and in the pinned comment down below. I'm having a ton of fun with my D&D gang and I'd love to share it with you. With everything said and done, minmaxing out and talk to you soon.